It's the Caitlin Lee MTG
Show. Opening a Mox. That's how you know it's going to be a good day. When you open a Mox Pearl, pack one, pick one. God, what a gorgeous group of cards, Hull Breacher, Lelia, Oko, Force of Will. Beautiful group of cards. If I'm gonna whine, just do it in a fry scream. Ah! No. Usually, if I'm like doing that, if I'm like hamming it up and like yelling and stuff, I'm having a really good time. If I ever am doing that, it's usually pretty apparent that I'm not actually tilted or anything. I'm not mad. Please don't tell the newspapers that I'm mad. Oh, this is not a good pick too, We passed such a gorgeous pack. And we're gifted this. What is this? Could take Counterspell and look at like blue-white control. Could follow up with a dragon, I guess. Kind of stinky, Kind of stinky no matter how you cut it. Spiral is a fun card, yeah. No fun allowed. Is there a chance of good blue card wheels? Probably not. I think it's just going to bait like 5 people into drafting blue. And we're all going to be like scrabbling over scraps. Like, my blue cards. Well, we could follow up a Mox Pro with another Mox, Do the artifact thing. I do like a Mox. Only thing better than one Mox is 2 Moxes, Yeah, not committed to this counterspell. I feel like more committed to the Mox Opal than the counterspell, but we'll see how the packs go, One of the nice things about Mox Opal is you don't need good cards. You just throw a bunch of artifacts in there. Just play them real fast. Oh shit, what up? Hey, CMFP, thanks for the sub, thanks for the 69 months. Nice. I've been really happy with Pyroglyph. I want to snag it. There's an artifact here for Mox Opal, an early artifact. Sometimes Cat works out well in these artifact decks. Like, we got to Fairy later. We already have 2 Moxes. Yeah, let's take the fucking Cat. The whole ethos of Vintage Shops decks. Yeah, right? Yeah, Workshop decks have just been a rock-solid staple of Vintage for so long. Just slamming that trash into play. How fitting a track by Cat Bite comes up. Mystical Tutor I used to really highly value with the artifact decks to go find balance and tinkering. But these days I kind of want to have those cards before I value the Mystical too high. I'm going to take Coalition Relic here. You miss when Shops played Slash Panther in Vintage? Yeah, that was a long time ago, That's what back when Jace the Mind Sculptor was like not an embarrassing card and actually very good. So your opponent would go like Black Lotus Jace, and you're like, all right, Shops, Slash Panther, kill your Jace. Slash it up. I like Top. I like Talisman too, I'll take the Top. Top got a little bit worse. They cut Mentor. Still nice and cheap for the Opal, though, Spelljacker's been so frustrating, Playburst. It has, yeah. Frustrating is a good word for it. Hello, Battlesphere. A very unpleasant card. I guess we should just be grateful that Invert Polarity hasn't made it into the cube yet. Little T-Mage action. Fits, Citadel is in, yeah. Citadel's rough, though. Like, you need to have Tinker for it in the artifact shell. And then when you naturally draw the Citadel, it's, like, very difficult to get into play. Invert Polarity would be sweet in cube. Invert Polarity would be fucking miserable. I played against it in Modern and put a Shieldred on the stack. And then I was like, my opponent's only got 1 card left. Got this game locked up. It's like, all right, now I guess they now have my card that I can't beat. Okay, cool. 3 mana, you say? Yeah, that's probably what that card should cost. Just they had to make sure it was playable, Caleb. There's no other way to do that. You can't beat your own card, maybe you shouldn't cast it. Yeah, right? What were you doing putting good cards in your deck? Someone got 2 heads on stream today and stole 2 of the opponent's rings. Yeah, but, I mean, that was, like, kind of a, unexciting, right? Like, the second ring was super useless. Almost like that City Traders. Yeah, I don't want the Chromatic Star. I'm not gonna play it. Yeah, bad beat Nate. The first time I looked at it, I was, like, skeptical, and then my opponent played it against me once, and I was like, no, this card's fucked. When you're like hoping that your card just gets countered, if it just gets 1-for-1. And cube, the ceiling on your power is so much higher, and I think that's why like the 5-drop is so frustrating to play against. Like you're trying to bait out counters and like save your best card for last. Is like the typical way of playing Magic, right? You're like bait, bait, bait. Okay, now I'll finally play my Haymaker that hopefully wins the game. And if their last card's a counter, then at least we're both in top deck mode. But but in reality now you're like letting them get up to 5 mana to like steal your card. So like all your instincts for how to like sequence your spells are just wrong if they have that. You get punished for like playing like traditionally correct. I think that adds to the frustration, personally. This is interesting. I'm just going to take the Shark, Seems like a pretty sharky deck. Ooh, Tinker's here. I guess we're tinking. Certainly have enough sack fodder for the Tinker, Yeah, you split card, cancel, or fractured identity. 3 mana instant speed fractured identity is pretty fucked up. Solitude, I mean, it'd be my first white card. How many creatures do I have to crew this copter? I wonder if Prismatic Ending's where it's at. This is a solid removal spell. This deck, we've got the mana to potentially play Ending for a larger amount, too. Like, I'm always having a rough time dealing with opposing Planeswalkers in this color combination, in this archetype. An Ending can, right? Like, we've got Coalition, Relic, and Mox Opal. We can get this up to, like, 4 or 5. Answer a Minskin Boo or whatever. Done it before. There's that Teferi. So Golos is really cool, but Teferi, when I grabbed that kitten, I was looking at my 2 Moxes, and that's like the dream, right? You play a Mox, you use the kitten to blink your Teferi, you float a mana with the Mox, you down-tick your Teferi, you bounce the Mox, you replay that Mox, you use the kitten to blink the Teferi, rinse, repeat. Thopter Sword's going around, but the Teferi's a little bit more important here, I think. Oh, Portal's a really good Tinker target. Nice, nice. Nice and castable. Good in a lot of different situations. Yeah, this is coming together, Sunfall's a really good sweeper. I think I like it best out of this pack. Here come all the white cards to make us regret passing Solitude. I mean, even if we get like a solid number of white cards for an artifact deck, it's still not going to be a lot for Solitude. And I still like my reasoning in terms of like Prismatic Ending solving a problem for the deck and Solitude not. Like, what is the deck weak to? What does the deck need? Versus like the typical best card that's probably at the worst in your shell. Little talismans, little hot talisman action. You value Solitude low if you can only hardcast it. It's really a lot lower, right, Bardaboos? And it depends on the type of deck, too. Like, if you can only hardcast Solitude, it's no longer an answer to your opponent's, like, fucking Through the Breach Demerkle or Channeled whatever, or Tinkered Blightsteel. Like, it goes from being, like, a vintage card to, like a typical limited card. Not everybody's in playing a deck that's slow enough where, like, a value 2-for-1 is good, right? Solitude can exile 15 mana Emrakul. Not quite the same thing to Delta, because Solitude's like value. It is still a good card to hardcast. It's preferable to hardcast. But you should certainly value it lower if you could only hardcast it, right? Oh shit, what up? Hey, Commando Zacho thinks the Sod thinks the 89 months. Like, I'm not speaking from lack of experience, right? Like, I've played Solitude and these artifact decks a lot. You think this deck's gonna work out? It's seeming that way, isn't it? It's certainly seeming that way. Mystical Tutor has already been seen. We are not going to get it. Academy versus off-color Mox? Hell yeah. Oh, very fun, Commando Zacho. Let me know how good the show is. Would I rather have Urza's Saga or Academy at this point? Academy. Our curve can use the Academy mana, right? That's kind of what it's about. It's pretty rare that you would prefer Saga. But like, if we didn't have these cards, then I'd prefer Saga, right? Probably not playing all these Wraths. Yeah, Golos is tempting. The Citadel is tempting with Tinker, of course. But I mentioned this earlier. When you got Tinker and Citadel in your deck, actually having to draw the Citadel sometimes is pretty miserable. A little bit better because we do have top, and top Citadel is great, but we already have some nice Tinker targets, right? We got the Battlesphere and the Portal to Phyrexia. That's enough, I think. Hell, even just using Tinker to put Sword combo together is sweet. I like that a little bit better. I have not had the chance to play the new Bloodbraid Elf. I want to. I do like Naya aggro, so I'm sure it'll happen pretty soon, Are people cheating Portal into play in any formats? I think it's probably in Vintage in some capacity. But you gotta realize that like edicting people is gonna be way better in Cube, where like almost everybody's killing each other with damage. Creature counts are higher, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna draft 4th here. I love me a Ballista, but 4th feels correct. 2 Mox, hell yeah. Yeah, we went pack 1, pick 1 Mox Pearl, and then pick 3 Mox Opal. Like, alright, let's jam. Workshops would actually not be very good here. Academy would be amazing, and Workshops would be not very good. We have a nice artifact count, but most of our stuff costs like 1 mana, right? I would still take Workshops out of a weaker pack, because like, it doesn't take very many, right? Give us like 2 4s and a 5, and all of a sudden it's a Workshops deck. Ooh, Shorkai. What are you talking about, Dumasang? Arena has a thing where you can win a box of MH3 if you run Super Hot. Like a box in paper. 6-1 or better. Probably an expensive buy-in. How much is a box of MH3 worth? It's like 250 bucks. How much is 5,000 gems? This is not sounding like a great deal. Starting to question when I should be excited about this. Entry's 25 bucks. So $25 entry, and then if you 6 in 1, you get $250. How many entrants does it take to ensure that somebody goes 6 in 1? I don't think a retrofitter. The Talisman helps with 4th, though. Maybe Talisman's better. Yeah, as much as I like retrofitter, I'm gonna take the Talisman here. Crazy, huh? 5 wins gets you your money back. Oh, that's a little better. That's a little better. Almost like that Lotus Petal. Club me Tinker fast. It is an uncolored Talisman, though, 1 in 16 get their money back. 1 in 32 get a box. Hello, Academy. This deck just went from fucking 0 to hero. Yeah, I don't know. The part of the equation too is I tend to like get more viewers and stuff. Drafting Vintage Cube as opposed to Modern Horizons. Well, the Workshops is there. We did get a bunch of Talismans since I said it wasn't good in my deck. Guess I'll jam it. Hey Jay, thanks for 45 months. You're very welcome for the content. Yeah, so I would switch over for what sounds like would be like a fairly break-even EV event for me, and then get fewer viewers. Definitely no stips. It doesn't sound quite worth. I do like MH3 sealed though. If I had taken today off, if I had taken Friday off, and was not streaming, I could see jamming one or two. Oh, hello Urza. Hello Urza Daddy. Now I can regret passing the retrofitter, right? With Urza and Academy somehow. It's practice for the super qualifier. That's true. I am in the super qualifier. I wasn't taking this super seriously though. I did one the other week and went like 4-2 drop or something with like kind of a medium pool that I misbuilt pretty bad. Maybe I'll do one of those arena things at the very end of the stream. I could see jamming one. This Gruul deck really isn't coming together yet, right? Yeah, there's a solid chance I don't even play that limited qualifier. I like wake up, look at my pool, and drop. I was hoping to hang out with the girlfriend a little bit tomorrow. The Coveted Jewel and Displacer Kitten are very good too. That's a sick wheel for me. The Coveted Jewel got so much better with the workshops in here. Have I heard of or played Prismata? The name sounds very familiar. Oh no, Daniel Talkthai. That's terrible. That's a terrible beat. Pack 3 did bring home the bacon. I'm not sure I'm going to play that Gadgeteer. We didn't get Turtles, so I don't think I'm going to play the equipment. Oh my god. Why did I do that? I had them all sorted out. Usually I'm very high on Shadow Spear, but this deck's like very low on Biggins. We have Urza Saga spitting out a Construct, but we're lacking 4-mana Karn, and we're lacking Urza Saga, and we're lacking Turtle. If we had like any of those, I'd be tempted by the Shadow Spear, but currently I'm not. The rest of this looks really good. I'm usually not high on Displacer Kitten, but this deck with Teferi and Coveted Jewel and double Moxen to bounce with Teferi, it's a very good Kitten deck. I strongly disagree about Research Desk. When you're playing these ramp decks, not only does Research Desk juice up the fast Academy and Opal, but when you're playing these fast ramp decks, the thing that can happen is you draw too much acceleration. And Research Desk looks 4 cards deep, right? It's 2 Shorikai activations. And it can just chill and play until you actually need it, until you need the cards. So, just the stone opposite opinion that you expressed there. With Triple Talisman, we could just jam 16 lands pretty easy. I'm into it. I don't hate playing a single basic mountain, so we can tutor an untapped red source. We have a solid amount of untapped red sources already, or with the Mox Opal and the Coalition Relic and one of these talismans. So we don't really need the mountain. Let's look at the other mana real quick. Hey, Van Wedge, thanks for 23 months. Appreciate you. How much do I like Blightsteel? Not very. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blue. 10 blue is decent. And we're going to be mapping for Academy a lot. This is 9 white. 9 white's pretty good. It helps that the Mox Pearl's on color, Yeah, I think I can get away with a mountain. I could see that being in Plains, but I think a mountain's fine. Nice little 14 land deck here. You've got nothing. Blackberry preserves. Kind of a pretty nice jam. In reference to the trivia, fair enough. I'll resend my comment then. Little turn 2 monarchy action. Uh-oh. I think we're just getting fucking Blightsteel and hoping that gets there. Yeah, I could play Battlesphere here, but it doesn't do much for me, right? If I had my own Academy... Oh, what about tinkering for map so I can get Academy? That's funny, right? I think I should just get Blightsteel, though. Teferi and Kitten feel like they should be getting me there. Hello. Disciplined? I don't know how disciplined it was. I could have portaled. Portal doesn't really do much, though, right? It kills 2 Thopters, denies them 2 mana, and then they untap and make the same board. And then I've got a portal that does nothing because there's no creatures in the graveyard. Blightsteel's at least threatening to do something, right? Oh my god. Yeah, I wonder if, with Displacer Kitten and Teferi, I wonder if tinkering for map and mapping for Academy was correct. Or like if I slam Battlesphere this turn, then next turn map for Academy. Could play Teferi and Displacer Kitten in the same turn. Go through my whole deck. The game is not over, folks. Why are y'all acting like this game's over? Chat loves to Doom Post. It's their favorite fucking thing. Just to be the most negative Nancys that ever Nancied. The One Ring does mean that they don't have to chump the Blightsteel, though, which is kind of brutal. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 7. I might need to rip Academy here. Would map for Academy do it? That's worth thinking about. Because we could play the map off Workshop. No, it would be a mana short, right? It is funny that slamming Mere Battlesphere instead of tinkering for Blightsteel would have given me a better shot this next turn. I wasn't thinking about how it might set up map stuff. Wrath and Sunfall buy me like a turn, right? Or I guess... So Wrath would let me win because the Blightsteel... Well, no, because of the One Ring protection. They literally would just buy me a turn. They're not really outs. We can't even cast Sunfall, right? We only have 4 mana here. But this is the board that they built in 1 turn. So if I ripped a... If I ripped a Wrath, I would just literally be fogging a turn, right? Yeah, we're mana short here, which is frustrating. Because we can tap out for the Displacer Kitten and then play the Talisman and blink one of our mana. But then we only have 2 mana and Teferi costs 3. So we're literally a mana short of winning this game. Despite chat's doom and gloom. Teferi bounce Opal could work if we ripped Academy. The opponent's like, am I missing anything here? No, you're not. It's worth an attack though, right? Yeah, not quite. We can play the Displacer Kitten, but you need to have a trigger after playing the Displacer Kitten to blink the Teferi, and we wouldn't have that here. You tap the Workshop, you play the Talisman, you play your land, you play the Mox Opal, 4-mana Kitten, right? But we're short a trigger for the Teferi to win. Stupid close, huh? Dummy close. Yeah, definitely punished for tutoring the Blightsteel last turn. Because if I just slam Battlesphere that turn, or even like run out Displacer Kitten, I'd have a win here. Oh well. Yeah, the only thing I'm mad about this game is how much chat was crying. Would have been real nice to win after all the belly aching. So close. So close to a win. You hit the City of Traders there instead of Island. You hit the Tellurian Academy there. That's just a win. Just a fat dub. Opponent's deck looks filthy. It does, yeah. If you naturally draw Thopter's Sword and have Academy and Cradle, your deck is going to look very good. I swear to God, it's like the first time some of y'all have watched a Vintage Cube before. I think I dig that. I don't love Portal against what I saw, but if they played a Nurza, right? If they played a Nurza, Tinker for Portal would be my best answer, because then I'd get the Urza. They could also have Turtle or Blightsteel, cards that are difficult to answer. Yeah. It's just weird when we literally have Splinter Twin in hand, Chad Shibby. When we literally have the Wit in hand, and folks are like, GG, they wanted it more. You know, it's like, god damn. Fuck, let me take a turn. Not that comments of commiseration are terrible or whatever, but wait until the game's over. Wait until the writing's actually on the wall. Still playing a match here. Getting punished for not playing out the Academy again. Earlier today, I got punished for that, for like not playing the Academy turn 1. Could be a turn 2 Jewel Hum. The second time today I've made that error. Doesn't feel like it's going to matter with your opener, right? It feels like you're like protecting the Academy from Wasteland or something weird, but so it goes. Let's give it another spin, see if we find something juicy. I think I like that. Play that out. Why not? It also does make you a bad person. No. that was not the intent of my mini rant there. Are we going to get countered? We are not. Interesting. The issue with this line is we're like tapped out and we haven't gained any value. There's a real solid chance I should have chilled on that Tinker. Just passed with the Coveted Jewel man up. I didn't like tutoring for Blightsteel again because that's what we did last game. So like, if the opponent's gonna sideboard in some weird bounce spell, or more likely to keep a hand with a path or what have you, because that was the threat that we showed them, right? Plus the Blightsteel would get too tired, exactly, yeah. Gotta give it a break. Gotta give it a break in between games. Interesting. Currently they're tapped out. They can't activate the relic. So I don't hate making a shitload of tokens. It is better against sweepers to wait. Maybe one at the end of the stream, Endo Jackson. You can sack another artifact to get back Sword. I'm very aware of this. Could tie up your mana, though, versus, like, multiple things. And you do lose the artifact that you sacrifice. It's not, like, free, right? It's a cost you've described. Yeah, they don't have a force in hand. We just got them. You cannot get Monarch because of the ring protection, yeah. So we're just not going to use all of our mana here. Them leaving the relic up means that I won't be able to crack on the end of the loop. I'll have to end the turn with 1 mana floating. Whereas if I had comboed on my turn, I could have gotten 1 more Thopter down. But it super doesn't matter, right? We have so much. Kind of looks like we're going to a game 3. That's the vibes I'm getting. Hell yeah, Tyus. That sounds like a good time. You're surprised they're letting this go? Well, it's the same as if they crack, right? They're giving me credit for knowing that I can sack my Pearl in response or whatever. It's not like they're allowing it, right? Like, they don't have a choice. Like, if they activate the Relic now, I sack the Mox, I get a 1/1. If the Sword comes into play, then the Relic resolves, right? It doesn't do anything. But it does prevent my last activation, because now if I cracked, then they could crack the Relic, right? Without any mana floating, without any mana up. Yeah, there is actually bait for Force of Will. And then you play the 4th afterwards. Comrade Crabcake thinks the sub, thinks the 35 months. 35 months. They're dead to 4th, yes, very dead. The One Ring is a card that's certainly worth countering. The issue is, like, what are you cutting, right? Still haven't seen anything worth portaling. Portal's so castable. It's so easy to play in comparison to Blightsteel. Yeah, I described the situations where Portal would be good after the first game, but if they play an Urza, if they play a Turtle, if they tinker for Blightsteel, those are the situations where Portal can really shine. Especially the Urza situation, because then Portal gets back Urza, right? Or Turtle. The issue is we haven't seen any of those cards yet. We've just seen, like, the One Ring and stuff. 4th does just fit into any deck. I had a green-black mid-range deck, and I saw 4th in pack 3, and I took it, and I splashed for 4th. Double splash for 4th, and it won me, like, all my matches. It does just go into every deck, yes. We are indeed taking Stips Ragnar. Correct, Terry Brogard. I mean, they can use the Relic, but it just forces me to respond. It doesn't actually answer the Sword of the Mink. Kind of like cutting the Blightsteel after showing them Blightsteel. Mono Black Control. I can try that, Ragnar. I can try that. I want to keep this hand so bad. This Academy. This Academy just fucking enticing me here. Ah, this hand sucks. It's just slow as all. And theirs is not. Yeah, maybe I should have gone to 5, Hard with the Tinker. Like, there's such a good chance of us, like, going thing, Tinker on 3. NBC is mono black control, yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah, they don't want to name Thopter Foundry, because that's a card in their deck. I kind of want it to Fairy here. Make sure the Tinker doesn't get countered. But that's giving them more time with the Academy and such. There's some awkwardness there. And then we lose the Tinker. We can't use it with Cat Combo later. Hey, Dark Lord Ragnar, thanks for the $20 donation. They didn't activate Retrofitter. This all seems very good for me, This forces them to chump with the Phyrexian Revoker. Which can free up our Urza. Not bad. On our turn, we can Urza. Like, attacking doesn't do anything, right? Because they have the One Ring protection. But we can Urza, and then with the Urza mana, we can hold up Counterspell on their turn, tapping Blightsteel for a blue. Uh-oh. Blightsteel looks so much more vulnerable when the opponent's got white mana, huh? Mind Twist. Bummer. Hey, Unpack, thanks for the 90 months. Appreciate you. Feel a lot more comfy if the card had gotten to keep us that counterspell, huh? Urza's not the worst, though. Could have just been the Relic or the Island. Surveil Land, Bidding Plains. Chrome Mox. I don't think they can make enough with Retrofitter to not die to Trample here. And they can't play things on my turn thanks to the Teferi. Just GG. Phew. Oh. Well, big losses are super uninteresting, right? But that makes sense to me. Like, getting really close to a win is more addicting. Keeps people plunking in those quarters. So we can't turn to the Siege Shark, but we can go turn to Relic, Triumph, Juice Up. And then we'll only have Sword of the Meek for Siege Shark, but we will at least be able to play Sword and Shark in the same turn. I could play it now. Is that what I want to do, though? Yeah, I do. I wonder if I should cycle this Triumph, Besides the Shark, I don't have a lot of gas here. How do y'all like Subtlety in Cube? You might be right about that, Crit Cheetah Girl. I got 5-headed by Twitch chat. Wouldn't be the first time. You think most all interaction is pretty good in Cube when things can be so swingy? Yeah, that's valid. That's a valid take. Looks like they misclicked the third land there. You don't like playing subtlety, but you hate when it's played against you. Yeah, I feel that. I didn't mind it there. I think the hard cast subtlety is the worst. You're like land off the top, land off the top, land off the top. You finally get a creature, and it's like, nah. It's the memory lapse issue, right? Where it's just like so deflating. Getting untapped with the shark here is fucking sick. I suppose the mana this turn is the same as mana next turn, huh? Like Sharknado better than Chrome Shark. Sharknado was a lot better in Storm combo. Sea Shark's like much better in these sorts of decks. I think they made like a lot of changes that nerfed Storm, and then they were like, the stats show that Storm's unplayable. It's like, well. I almost like casting the Sunfall. I get a fucking 5/5 out of it. A 5/5 and a 1/1. Oh, shit, what? Hey, Rod Monovich thinks the sub thinks the 2 months. Pog indeed. Hell yeah, Rod Monovich. This is a very expensive loot. Archon, interesting. Maybe a sneak attack shell, huh? Through the beach shell. Crocus is fucked up in this cube, Francis. Yeah, I've been ranting about that for a while. How I don't think Crocus should be the best land in your cube. I think you've like probably fucked up the cube design at some point. If Crocus is the best, there was a discussion on Twitter where LSV chimed in to say that he would take it pack one pick one over Academy. Which for me kind of sets off alarm bells. Man, they're at 1 here. They're at 1. I feel like I maximized my damage pretty well. Isn't Crocus always a fucked up card? Sort of. There's different degrees of fucked up, right? Orange Boohie. Back in the day, people have fond memories of like Crocus returning like Vendilion Click, Condenser to hand and stuff. Or as a hoser for Reanimator. I feel like if Crocus like time walks, like perma time walks, mid-range decks, and there's a bit of an issue. A little different. He said in a recent video he's considering cutting it from his personal cube. Yeah, I've been thinking about that too in Sectile Aberration. Cutting Crocus. I think me and LSV like rarely agree. Like I didn't agree with cutting Bribery, but I think I'm with him there. Currently a lot of legends that could be similar non-legends. Yeah, and the recent overhaul, one of the things that I liked about the recent overhaul, credit where credit is due, is that they did swap out some of them. I would have gone further, but they did cut some of the worser legends for non-legends, and they also added more non-basic land hate. There's a couple pieces of non-basic land hate in the cube that didn't exist there before. So steps in the right direction, but hey, Kai Storm thinks the Sod thinks the 77 months. Croc is playing plus Mangara. Yeah, that was fun, right? Back in the day. Cool. I think I imagine they were fishing for brain freeze there. Didn't get there. We definitely want counterspell against our combo opponent, and we're gonna cut all of our sweepers. What's my other? I can play Skydiver. I don't think it's amazing against them. I could play the Gadgeteer too. Oh, part of it is, do you think it's a show and tell Grizzlebrand, or do you think it's a sneak attack Grizzlebrand? I'll just do this, I guess. Maybe I should leave a sweeper in. We saw a lot of their deck, though. Yeah, let's just do this. Yeah, the plan here is to go turn 1 research desk, and then turn 2 use it as a sleight of hand to try and hit our land drop, run out spell bomb, set up for Tinker on 3. But we're just gonna rip the second land, right? Research desk. It's in my cube. I do like the card. Hey, good night, Booze. Thanks for the luck. I appreciate it. Thanks for the well wishes. Sleep well, rest well. Glad I didn't slam the Tinker into remand. I was looking forward to like upticking Teferi passing the turn with the instant speed Tinker on their EO team. Huh, I never exported this deck. Okay. There's some issues with this line. Instead of going like Teferi uptick or something. Archon would be brutal. I guess Archon would be Teferi too. Okay. This is not a good Trinket Mage attack. Let the spell bomb's on board, right? Looks like we would have been able to bounce another blocker anyway. This hand's got a lot of potential. A lot of explosive potential here. I'm going to learn from my past mistakes and lead on the academy. And I can stop cursing myself, Oh my. You think Displacer Kit needs a counter? Or am I supposed to be slamming Thopter Foundry and making them have it? The counter being Mana Drain is kind of scary. I wonder if they attempted to spin top with a backstreet trigger on the stack. Another subtlety playing opponent. Sick. That is an exciting card to have resolve. Interesting, Gozak. I haven't tried either of those. Let me know. Let me know how they are. And thanks for the sub, Gozak. Thanks for sharing the prime. Gulchon actually sounds familiar. Yeah, I've noticed it everywhere since I came back to the States, Gozak. Should be real accessible. So the opponent's got a graveyard hate card, but if they use it, we sack our Mox in response. Might see that interaction here. Well-timed Bowmaster if they're trying to hinder a mana. Oh, fun, Andorki. And we don't have white, but I don't think we need white mana at this point. That's fucking interesting. Running out the Triumph wouldn't be crazy, but I think I like the Traders a little bit better. Yeah, I was thinking that one of the few ways that they could win from there is Bowmaster plus draw 7, so that's why I prioritized the Portal over like a Blightsteel or something. Black's main sweeper is Toxic Deluge too, which is Blightsteel. But yeah, I guess Toxic we would just like float and make a bunch of 1/1s anyway. Think about once again boarding in Counterspell. We'd cut a different card each time though. Trigger Mage could be good here too. It's a little value thing, just some gas, right? Some gas could be good. Maybe I'm supposed to cut Wrath. They might get more aggressive post-board. Wrath and Blightsteel can be good together too. I'm gonna leave it in. I'm gonna do this. You think my opponent thought that if they Bowmaster the 1/1, the sword doesn't come back? Maybe. The thing is, like, it's still correct to do though. If your plan is to play the Orc that turn, they chose the perfect time to do so, because it inhibited the mana that I was producing from Academy. Slowed me down a little bit. It was worth like 2 1/1s there. Urzamir. Draw 7s and Mind Twist are good reasons to run out the Mox Pearl. The Shortkai is a hard card to beat. The reason to not run it out would be if you were worried about Skydiver, but Skydiver wasn't particularly troubling for me here, so I thought the pros of running it out outweighed the cons, Very concerned about this Shortkai. That's means the opponent's just like always gonna have gas, right? And drawing 3 cards a turn. Ancestral Recall instead of a draw step. Plus a lot of annoying little pilot tokens. Yeah, I'm very high on Shorkai. Hey, Supplet Orb. Hope you're having a good one. Karn, nice. So the Expedition map isn't like the best thing ever, but it's a lot better than actually hitting the Academy there, which I couldn't have played, but the map lets me find Academy next turn and then get multiple Urza spins, assuming we get to untap with this stuff, right? And assuming that we get to untap with this stuff, it might be good. Nice stutter, Caleb. Well done. Shorkai being a mech makes it better. You can have an island. That Kappa Cannoneer is fucking terrifying, I like Hogwash's deck. Like mono good cards. Ballista for 3, sure. So this is infinite. I think it goes faster actually if I spin a couple times and like have an empty mana pool. And then I go with Opter Foundry. Click, click. Yes. Opter Foundry, click, click, click. Yes. Opter Foundry, click. And when you hold W when you click Urza, it'll only assume you're going to use the mana ability. You can actually hold W down. So much clicking, yeah. Y'all see when I made that Thopter? Oh god, I was so good at it. Just the fucking best Thopter. How many spins do I want to do here? Maybe I'll activate Shorekeim. Yeah, Cat Jewel does make it easier. Save me a few clicks, huh? I don't think Cat wants to blink Jewel, does it? Okay. A little bit worried about decking. Yeah, just kill their creatures there. Kill their creatures, smash in with a lethal construct.